Thank you for listening to today's episode of Medical Device Global Market Access by Pure Global. Today, we are tackling a critical question for innovators in the medical technology space. How can you leverage the clinical evidence from your CE-marked novel device to meet the expectations of a US FDA De Novo submission? Many companies invest heavily in generating robust clinical data to achieve a CE mark under the European Medical Device Regulation, or MDR. It is a significant milestone. The logical next step is the lucrative US market, and for a novel device without a clear predicate, the De Novo pathway is the route. However, assuming that your CE mark data package can be submitted to the FDA as is a common and costly mistake. The FDA's primary requirement for a De Novo is a demonstration of a reasonable assurance of safety and effectiveness for the device's intended use in the US population. While the FDA has stated its willingness to accept foreign clinical data, it must meet stringent criteria. The agency released guidance in April 2015 titled Acceptance of Clinical Data to Support Medical Device Applications, which outlines these expectations. A key requirement is that the study must have been conducted in accordance with good clinical practice, or GCP, including review by an independent ethics committee and with proper monitoring. The main challenge lies in the potential gaps between the data collected for the CE mark and what the FDA requires. These gaps often fall into several categories. First, patient demographics. The FDA will scrutinize whether the patient population in your European study is representative of the diverse US population in terms of race, ethnicity, age, and comorbidities. Second, the standard of care. The control arm of your study may have been compared against a treatment or diagnostic that is not the standard of care in the United States, which can complicate the assessment of your device's performance. Furthermore, the clinical endpoints and the duration of follow-up must be sufficient from the FDA's perspective. What satisfies a notified body in the EU may not be adequate to establish long-term safety and effectiveness for the FDA. To navigate this, the most powerful tool at your disposal is the FDA pre-submission or pre-sub program. This process allows you to present your complete CE mark data package to the FDA and ask for specific feedback on its adequacy for a De Novo submission. This proactive engagement helps identify any gaps. The FDA might determine your data is sufficient, or it may require a smaller, targeted bridging study in the US to supplement your existing evidence. A bridging study is designed specifically to fill the identified gaps, whether they relate to patient demographics or different clinical practices. Proactively identifying these needs through a pre-sub can save months or even years in delays and significant costs compared to receiving a rejection after a full De Novo submission. In summary, your CE mark clinical evidence is an invaluable asset for your US market strategy, but it is the starting point, not the finish line. A thorough gap analysis and early communication with the FDA are the keys to successfully leveraging that data for a De Novo clearance. If your company needs assistance navigating the complexities of global market access, including FDA submissions and leveraging existing clinical data, the experts at Pure Global are here to help. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.